In my shift, if you can imagine, the first hour of rowing across the Atlantic, you'll do 1,020 strokes in that first hour and a half. And in your 3 hours, you'll do 3,660 strokes. And you'll do that 12 hours a day for 40 plus days. And so if you look at this machine, just think about staring at that wall and just doing over and over and over. But there's a point. And the point is that we're doing it for a good purpose and we're getting across the Atlantic.
I'm a retired Navy SEAL commander, spent 20 years as a SEAL. Half, interestingly, active duty, the other half as a reservist, which allowed me to be an entrepreneur and a business professional. And so I started SEALFIT in 2006, and it was extraordinarily effective. Through a lot of trial and error, I started with a 30-day live-in academy, which is like a Shaolin monastery for special operators here in Encinitas, where we are right now, right across the street. And so what was happening is these SEAL trainees were going down to BUDS, and you probably know the story, American Legion, everyone knows about the SEALs, 90% failure rate for individuals, 90% fail rate. Well, the folks that I was training were having a 90% success rate. I met Robert and about 6 or 8 years ago because he was a special operator, pararescue, and he had read my book and he was using this training. He was like, I want to bring Unbeatable Mind down to the pararescue school in this Air Force Special Operations, and you know, similar to how they were using it at BUDS. And so we started the conversation, and he invited him in to help us with our coaching and our SEALFIT training. And that's where he met Mark Crampton.
So I'm doing this specifically for the Mark Crampton Memorial Row, which is raising funds. And that Mark Crampton situation is that at SEALFIT, we have a number of Navy SEAL coaches. And Mark Crampton was a 28-year Navy SEAL retiree, been out 12. And not long after one of our Crucible events, he went home and killed himself. And it shook us all up. And I've been around suicide probably like you, with vets or civilians most of my life, but it was real close to home to have Mark, who we work with and talk with, all of a sudden go home and become hopeless and choose to end his life that way. And it made me want to hop in even more on veteran suicide issues and see if I could, for the rest of my life, in some capacity, make more of a difference, along with Mark Devine, to see if we can make this thing work out and we can do a better job. The team is a team of 12. I'm the only American. I'm the oldest guy by about 20 years. We meet in Spain in the Canary Islands, and we will take off on December 4th, and we will row to the Caribbean, to Antigua. It'll be 3,500 miles plus or minus storms, and it should take us between 40 and 50 days. 6 guys row at a time. Actually, there'll be 7 men and 5 women. Anyway, 6 row at a time. We have sweeps like in college crew, so there'll be 3 ports on the left and 3 starboards. You row an hour and a half on port, you scoot over and do an hour and a half on starboard, you go sleep for an hour and a half, and then you just do it again. So it's 3 hours on, 3 hours off for 40 or 50 days. Each guy will row 12 hours a day. And so it's a challenge for me, not so much a physical challenge. I mean, my hands and lower back will be the challenge, but it's the mental challenge of the 3-hour grind, 3 hours on, 3 hours off, nonstop, day and night, until you reach the Caribbean. And I teach a lot on mental resiliency, mindfulness, mental toughness. And so this is a way for me to demonstrate in front of my students and my clients how to work your mind and stay in the game in something that needs resilience.